Rome was restless. In the 3rd century, beneath the shadow of imperial banners and marble temples, fear ruled the streets. Christianity was forbidden. To speak the name of Christ could mean prison. To celebrate the Eucharist could mean death. And in the middle of that darkness, a priest named Valentine walked quietly through the city. He did not command armies. He did not hold political power. But he carried something far more dangerous to the empire: hope. Little is known with absolute certainty about his early years. Tradition places him in Rome, or perhaps in the nearby town of Terni. He was ordained a priest, possibly even a bishop. What we know is this: he lived at a time when Emperor Claudius II believed that unmarried soldiers fought better than husbands. Marriage, he thought, made men weak. So he banned it. Young couples were forbidden to wed. Love itself became suspect. And Valentine made a choice. By candlelight, in secret gatherings, he united young Christians in holy matrimony. Quiet vows whispered beneath the threat of execution, rings exchanged in trembling hands, blessings given in hushed tones. Every marriage he celebrated was an act of defiance. Every blessing a rebellion of love against fear. And Rome began to notice. The arrests came without warning. Valentine was seized and brought before the authorities. The charge was clear: defying the imperial decree and spreading Christianity. He was imprisoned. In the darkness of his cell, chained and watched, he did not curse his fate. Instead, he prayed. The jailer, curious about this calm prisoner, began to speak with him. Some traditions tell us the jailer had a daughter, blind from birth. Whether from illness or injury, she lived in darkness deeper than the prison walls. Valentine spoke to her of Christ, of a light no empire could extinguish. And one day, through prayer, her sight was restored. We cannot measure this moment historically with modern precision, but the Church has carried this story for centuries, not as romantic legend, but as testimony to the power of faith. The jailer and his household were baptized. Chains could not silence the gospel. Yet miracles do not soften emperors. Claudius himself is said to have interrogated Valentine. At first intrigued, even impressed, the emperor offered him a choice: renounce Christ and live, or remain faithful and die. Valentine did not hesitate. He chose Christ. A sentence was pronounced. Valentine was condemned to death. On the eve of his execution, he is said to have written a final note to the jailer's daughter, signing it, "From your Valentine." Whether the phrase as we know it emerged later, the gesture remains powerful. Even facing death, he chose tenderness. Even in chains, he chose love. He was led outside the city along the Via Flaminia. There, around the year 269, he was beaten and beheaded. No crowds cheered, no monuments were raised that day. But heaven received a martyr. In time, Christians gathered at his grave. A basilica would rise over the place of his burial. His name spread across Rome, then across Europe. Not because of flowers, not because of cards, but because he proved that love, real love, is stronger than fear, stronger than power, stronger even than death. Centuries passed, empires fell, borders shifted, languages changed. Yet the memory of Valentine endured. In the Middle Ages, as cultures blended Christian devotion with local customs, His feast day became associated with courtship and affection. The Martyr of Rome slowly became known as the patron of lovers. History and legend intertwined. But beneath every romantic symbol stands the same radical truth. Valentine defended sacramental love when it was dangerous. He upheld the dignity of marriage when the state tried to control it. He reminds us that Christian love is not sentiment. It is sacrifice. It is fidelity under pressure. It is courage when compromise would be easier. The world remembers him with roses. The Church remembers him with a crown of martyrdom. Today, when his name is spoken, it often echoes in restaurants, greeting cards, and whispered confessions of affection. Yet beyond the sentimentality stands a witness, a priest who refused to let fear dictate the meaning of love, a shepherd who risked his life so that others could enter a covenant before God, a martyr who chose eternity over comfort. Saint Valentine's biography is not merely a story of romance. It is the story of a man who believed that love belongs to God and therefore cannot be outlawed. In a world still tempted to redefine love, to reduce it, to commercialize it, his life speaks quietly but firmly. Love is holy. Love is costly. Love is worth dying for. And if holiness was possible in the shadows of ancient Rome, it is possible now, even for us.